Hello from two students. This is your chapter 2. Okay, and turn to your notes, page number 2. How are you? And how is your chapter 1? Okay, 来，开始。So chapter 2, our title will be ecosystem. 生态 is a good title, totally good title. But I know a lot of you maybe feel the title is boring. No. If you not understand the title, you feel it is boring. If you know it, okay, this is a good title. Believe me, trust me. Okay, so turn to your page number 2. 转去你的第二面 we start the first title called The Flows of the Energy in the Ecosystems. 能量在生态里面流动。But how the energy flow in the ecosystems? 能量怎样流动的呢 ？Okay, so how the energy can flow in the ecosystems? 在整个生态里面，那股能量怎样流动呢 ？Copy beside the title. Through the food chains of food webs. Okay, 能量要流动就要用到食物链和食物网。So the flow of the energy in the ecosystem through the food chains of food web. 食物网、食物链让我们的能量在生态里面流动。Okay, so now the first sentence. Food chains and food web. 食物链、食物网。So today I'm not going to tell you what's meant by food chains, producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer. This is primary school. 这种是小学，填4个名字 UPSA 拿 A， 对不对？So food chains and food web, what they can do? 食物链、食物网可以做什么呢？Or why when we study science, it always having the title called food chain, and students, they hate this title, 他们不喜欢这个 title. So 食物网、食物链有什么重要性呢？ So what is the importance of food chains and food web? 他们到底有什么重要性呢？怎么科学书一起提起呢？对不对？来 copy. Food chains demonstrate the feeling relationship and the transfer of energy from producer to consumer. 食物链显示出 okay, 生物之间吃东西的关系。And also the transfer of energy from producer to consumer. 它也让你看到能量在我们的生态里面流动。From producer to consumer. 从出产者慢慢的流去消费者。Okay, so now we go to the page number 2 in detail. What's the meaning of this sentence? 为什么食物链呢？让我们的能量流动。Okay, 它怎样让我们的能量流动呢 ？So normally for page number 2 这个第二面，我们看起来就是无聊的填字罢了，对不对 ？Totally not， 完全不是。If you want to understand in detail, I can make you understand. If you not， 也不会明白了，随便你了。Okay, so now it starts. 食物链让能量流动，什么叫能量流动呢？开始了。OK， 这个你没有，你看罢了。So in science, when we talk about balanced ecosystems, 在科学里面呢，当我们讲到平衡的生态。So what is mean by balanced ecosystem? 什么叫平衡的生态呢 ？I using the title for Form 5 from Form 5 to tell you 啦。我用 Form 5的 title 来告诉你，什么叫平衡的生态。So you follow me， 跟着我啊，然后你看看什么叫平衡的生态。So in the balanced ecosystems, every day the living thing borrow something from the environments. 每一天呢，生物都从周围环境拿到一些矿物质。Okay, so for example, plant having the photosynthesis process, plant take in the carbon dioxide, 植物拿进了二氧化碳。And plant take in the water, 植物拿进了水，对不对 ？So in the balanced ecosystems, living thing always borrow something, always get something from the environments. 生物一直在周围环境里面呢，拿到我们的矿物质，拿到我们的食物，拿到我们的能量。什么是矿物质？什么是食物？什么是能量呢？ They are almost the same. Okay, and now. So plant get the carbon dioxide, plant get the water. Water and carbon join together become carbohydrate. So plant return the oxygen, 它回氧气，它接近了二氧化碳和水，它还了氧气，对不对 ？So what happened to the carbohydrate? Plant keep inside the body, 它收在身体里面。So now animal, we having the respiration, we eat the glucose, we eat the carbohydrate from the plants, 对不对 ？So we take in the oxygen, 我们拿进氧气 we release the carbon dioxide and water. Or another meaning, can you see something special? 你能看到一些特别的事情吗？如果你看不到，我讲多一次给你听。But now I change my sentence. 我换我的句子。为什么要讲这样多？要不然这一课就是丢掉的一课来的，明白吗？你不明白的话，你没有感觉的话，没有感受到里面的奥妙的东西的话，你读了等于没有读，你补了也没有补，浪费时间，明白？ So that's why 一定要好好的讲啊。来，再看。So in a balanced ecosystem， 在平衡的生态，什么事情一直发生呢 ？I show you another sentence， 我用别的句子讲给你听啊。In a balanced ecosystem, living things always borrow something from the environment. 生物总是从我们的大自然环境借了某某东西进来，做他们的食物。Okay? But in the balanced ecosystem, there's one important sentence. 有一句很重要的话，有借一定要还。Okay? 有借一定要还，如果你没有还，别人不能借，生态不能继续。Understand? So carbon, okay, plant borrow the carbon dioxide. 植物借了二氧化碳，植物借了水，它造了碳水化合物，它先还氧气。But the problem, 你不还碳和水呢，别人没得借，对不对 ？So the God, 上帝，你的上帝是谁？我不知道。我们的上帝，我们自己也不知道，对不对 ？So the God make others living thing. They eat the plants.我们就把植物吃掉，所以你有借还了氧气，没有还碳和水，对不对？一定要还 ，so that's why we making others living organisms。上帝造了其他的生物，把植物吃掉。Okay, so animals take in the oxygens, we have in the process called respiration, and finally, what happened to the carbon dioxide and water? All return to the environment， 全部还给大自然。OK， 然后我讲简单一点点。在平衡的生态，所有东西都是有借有还 ，OK？ 所以植物借了二氧化碳和水，它先还了氧气，它不要还碳水化合物，对不对？所以我们就把植物吃掉 ，OK？Sorry， 我们就把植物吃掉，哇！And now we take in the oxygens, and finally we give back everything. 我们把全部的东西都还给大自然，因为你还别人可以借，生态才能继续，它才会平衡，明白吗？所以在平衡的生态，有借一定要还，你不还别人没得借，明白吗？ Okay, so for example, 你看，now I have in my body 我有我的身体 ，and all the mineral in my body just temporarily I borrow 我暂时性借来罢了。One day I have to give back 了，有一天我一定会拿去还的。什么时候？不知道。他要我还，我就得还。Understand? Okay, so now we go back to our notes. 我们回去我们的 notes， 我们看食物链。有一点啰嗦，我知道，要不然你不会明白这个 job 的。它的精华你拿不到。你能考试 ，I know you can go exam， 不过你没有那个科学的精华。So in our food chains, who is the main source of energy? 我们最主要的能源来自哪里呢 ？Okay, the answer is not the plants. The answer actually is the sun. 来自太阳。So remember, draw 自己画。The main source of energy in our ecosystem will be the suns. 太阳才是真正最主要的能量来源，明白吗 ？Okay.So where's the energy come from? The energy actually come from the suns. And plant actually is as a producer. 植物就是我们生态里面的 producer 出产者。So green plant they are called producer. 它就是我们生态里面的出产者。Why? Because just a green plant able to carry out the process called photosynthesis. 因为只有它能进行光合作用。And the plant convert the light energy from the sun into the chemical energy in the food. 只有它进行光合作用，把太阳的光能变成了食物的化学能，对不对？ So plant as a producer, so only the plant can obtain the energy from the sunlight and finally making 100% of food, 对不对？植物在我们的生态里面，它制造了100% 的食物，因为它叫出产者。What is mean by 100% of food? 什么叫100% 的食物呢 ？Okay, 100% of energy, 食物就是能量。100% of nutrient 养分，也就是 100% of mineral 了，全部都是它供应的，它进行光合作用做了食物。Understand? Okay? But, okay? When the plant making 100% of food, 100% of energy, Plant need the energy its own. 植物自己也需要那股能量，对不对 ？So 90% of the energy will be used up by the plants. 它做了100%，其实大概90% 的能量呢会被植物自己用完。So after the plant making the food, plant having the respiration, 它燃烧食物，对不对？它进行它的 metabolism inside the body, 它用它的能量进行身体里面的化学反应。So almost 90% of the energy will be used 被植物用掉。Okay? Or when the plant use the energy will be flow back to the environment. 这90% 的能量呢就会还给大自然。So 植物借了二氧化碳先还氧气。那晚上植物在燃烧食物的时候，它又还了二氧化碳。So almost 90% of the food energy mineral will be used up 被植物用掉，然后还给大自然。And just 10% of the energy will be kept inside the body。剩下的10% 呢收在身体里面 ，become what? Become the plant body 就变成了植物的身体。So 拿了能量，拿了养分，变成了你自己。有借有还，不过不可以还到完，因为你还到完，你也跟着完，对不对 ？So 10% will be kept inside the plant body 了，10% 收在植物的身体。But then when they tell you 90%, 10%, all the percentage actually from our bio book， 不是我自己发明的，全世界的书都一样的。And the calculation actually from scientists， 这是科学家算的，90% 还给大自然，10% 收在身体里面。OK。Next, so energy flow from the sun go to the producer. From producer, where is the energy? 90% 还给大自然的 ，another 10% keep inside the body. So primary consumer. 下一场戏就是 primary consumer 来了，对不对？老鼠来了。Okay? So when the primary consumer consume on the plant, 它吃植物的时候 ，the maximum 它最多能拿到多少的能量呢 ？10% only。不管你多么厉害，你把植物吃到完 ，the maximum of energy that can transfer to the primary consumer is just 10% only， 就是10% 罢了。Or in this case, can you see anything special？ 你看到什么东西吗 ？So for the primary consumer, can the quantity more than the producer？ 世界上的老鼠可不可以有一天多过植物呢？不可能的。我有的能量是100%，你有的能量最多是10%，能量就是食物，食物就是能量，对不对？也就是矿物质。So that's why 你的食物少，能量少，养分少。How can you more than me？ 老鼠怎么会多过植物呢？哦，原来 ，So 植物跟老鼠比，老鼠永远比较少，因为它的能量不够，其他的能量回去了大自然。OK， 就是这个原因。Next。So now, primary consumer, the rat having the 10% of energy, but 90% of energy will be used. So the rat jump, they run, okay, but cannot fly, 不能飞了。它用掉90% 的能量，剩下几%收在身体里面 1%。But 1% 收在身体里面不要还，上帝又生气了，造了另外一只生物。OK， 它没有脚的出来，这只生物叫 secondary consumer。secondary consumer 造了蛇。要把老鼠吃掉，为什么呢？因为老鼠坏蛋，借了能量不要还，借了 10% 只还了9% 罢了，对不对 ？Another 10% 收在身体里面，不要还，坏蛋，所以做蛇来把它吃掉。Okay? So when the secondary consumer eat on the rat， 他吃了老鼠，他最多能拿到 1% 罢了，对不对？所以蛇会多过老鼠吗？绝对不会，因为你的能量少。对不对？你的食物少，你不可能比我多。So snake get 1%, use up 90%， 它用掉90%。为什么不要用到完呢？用到完蛇也完了。Okay, so now snake keep another 10% inside the body, so still another 0.1% keep inside the snake body, not go back to the environment. So that's why the God， 那个 God 是谁我不知道啊，你不要讲这个 God 的东西来吵我啊。Okay。So the God making， the God 就是大自然啊，水就是那个整个大自然。Okay，so the God making another living thing 会飞的，从天上掉下来的，把蛇吃掉。这只东西叫 tertiary consumer。tertiary consumer。So eager eat the snakes。And how much of energy the eagle can obtain? 0.1% only， 只拿到 0.1。So can eagle more than snake？ 天上的老鹰会不会多过地上的蛇呢？绝对不会。 明白吗 ？OK。So same again, eager going to spend 90% of energy back to the environment, respiration, 对不对？燃烧食物啦，能量跑出来啊，90%，所以剩下0.01% 收在他的身体，要不要去追它回来呢？要不要把这个能量追回来呢？懒惰了，这样少0.01罢了，明白吗？ Okay, so normally our food chains, when we talk about food chains, our food chains normally short. 食物链通常很短。4 level 4回合，大致上就要停了的。为什么呢 ？Because after 4 level, producer, primary, secondary, tertiary, consumer, the energy become very low. The contents of energy become 0.01% only. 这样少的能量追它来做什么呢？对不对？不要管它了。So that's why food chains normally short. 食物链你要画5只6只啊，画不出，明白了没有？所以如果不要这样讲得这样清楚，那么你这一课不要读 ，OK？ 谢谢。因为读跟不读一样呢，这几个字谁不会填？3年级都会填啊，只是它按摩罢了嘛，对不对？有什么好了不起？最重要是里面的真正的意义 ，OK？Next. So when I say 90% of energy loss, 90% of energy loss, where is the energy? 这个能量不见去哪里呢 ？Our nature 回给大自然。But how they go back to the nature? 他们怎样回给大自然呢？早上你吃的食物跑去哪里呢 ？A lot of energy will be used 被燃烧，变成二氧化碳加水，对不对 ？So where's the 90% of energy? The loss of the energy 90% through what? 用什么方法来去还的呢 ？Number 1, respiration 燃烧食物。So 早上的那些呢嘛，今天我早上吃鲍鱼点心哈，鲍鱼点心，真的大三角麻酱布布新开的有鲍鱼哦。骗你的啦，我看到照片罢了啦。So 90% of energy will be lost through respiration 燃烧食物 excretion 然后吃了鲍鱼我有小便 excretion 排泄回到家还大便排遗 defecation 所以你排遗的时候呢整条啊都是要还给大自然小便的时候那些水啊矿物质啊回给大自然燃烧食物的时候空气啊回给大自然明白吗 So these are the way the mineral, the energy, the food nutrients go back to the nature. Okay? But how about this 0.01%? 我们还是想不开，老鹰还收着 0.01%， 没有人敢吃它，对不对 ？Don't worry， 不要紧张。When the God， 那个 God 没有名字啊。When the God make the living thing， 他放了计时炸弹 on the living thing body. So all the living thing they're having the timing, they're going to die. 所有的生物总有一天会死掉。他做好了的，明白吗 ？So when the living thing dies， 上帝才做了另外一个东西出来 ，decomposer 腐化者 ，like bacteria and fungi， 对不对 ？They're going to break down the living organism, the dead organism， 他把那些死去的生物腐化掉，全部的 mineral 矿物质 energy back to the nature 回给大自然。Another meaning， 再来一次，在平衡的生态里面就是一句话。有借有还，有借有还，借多多不要还，很快就会还，明白吗 ？OK， 每天借一定要还哦，借了2-3天、3-4天没有还，那收在肚子里面了，答案绝对在。OK，so this is our food chain， 这就是我们所谓的食物链。OK， 哇，老伟，食物链讲18分钟 ，very sorry， 对不起。Okay, but now you become the king of food chain， 食物链之王就是你了。你看到了很多东西，凡人看不到的东西。OK，yeah。So turn to your page number 1， 转回去你的第一面，我们要填一些事情。So how does the energy form in the food web？ 食物能量怎样在我们的食物链里面流动呢？ OK， 什么重点在里面呢 ？Sunlight is the main energy source in the food chains。阳光就是食物链里面的能量最主要能量来源，明白吗 ？OK，and the energy will be flow to the green plant primary consumer, secondary consumer, and whatever， 对不对 ？So at each level, consumer, primary producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer. So at each level, 在每一回合 when the energy flows, not all the energy stored in a particular level is transferred to the next level. 不是所有的能量在这一回合都会传给下一回合。Why? because some energy is lost as a heat energy through respiration, excretion, and defecation. 因为有很多能量 OK 变成热能，在 respiration, excretion, defecation 排遗的时候已经还给了大自然，明白吗？ So the amount of energy that transfer from one consumer to another decrease among the food chains. So 一回合再一回合，它的能量就会越来越少，直到第4回合少到不能再少，我们就量多做第5次，明白吗？ So food chain is short. So food chain 下面的第1回合的生物比较多，过后越来越少，越来越少 ，understand? So that's all， 20分钟了，熟练能讲20分钟，对不起，真的很对不起你，谢谢你啊，拜拜 ，OK。